Yo, what's going on, Internet? Are you ready? It's time for the Collective Gamescast, episode 43. We'll be talking about Pokemon Go, why it has to be so hot in July, and Chris's fear of spiders. So strap your seatbelts because we're here on twitch.tv/the_Malgadar like we are every week. And you know the drill. You can get the YouTube breakouts. You can also find the podcast version, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, all that stuff. Just search for Collective Gamescast.
Yes.
So, Chris, here we are, man.
Yeah,
Sunny
man.
Sunday. It's always sunny in Philadelphia.
That's what they want us to believe, man.
No, it's definitely sunny because it is just goddamn hot every day now.
Yeah, this has been insane, man. And then it kind of hinted at rain yesterday, which really angered me. But at night, it got really cool. That was really nice.
Yeah, it was. Last night was nice.
Yeah.
It's just like every time I walk out of my house, I feel like I walked in the bathroom after somebody got a hot shower. Like, it just feels like just muggy and oppressive and hot, and oh god, it kills me.
I just went outside just for some fresh air, and I just started sweating. Like, I wasn't moving, I wasn't walking, I was just kind of standing there, and I'm just sweating. I'm like, what is happening right now? I'm not even wearing. I'm in basketball shorts and a t-shirt, and I'm just sweating. It's cool, man.
It's rough, man. July is the roughest month in this area. It always is.
Go back to Minnesota.
Yeah, I don't know. I would never have believed it, but you said the Minnesota summer's pretty brutal itself.
It get pretty bad. It's pretty humid, but right now they're sitting at 70 degrees. So.
Oh man, you're feeling homesick all of a sudden, right?
Yeah, that sounds really nice.
Yeah, it really does. You know, my poor air conditioning unit, man, that thing is just, it's working hard. It's working harder than I do right now.
Man.
Of course, it gets about 8 months off every year, so I think it should be able to handle it. Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah, so we got through all the intro stuff, all that good stuff. Contact information, how about I give that out? You can contact the show, it says it right down there, at the Collective GC on Twitter. You can hit me up on Twitter at the Malgadar, and you can hit my excellent co-host Chris on Twitter at ChrisBCGC. So do that. We love talking to you guys. Yeah, so we're through all that. I guess I'll give the audience a quick idea that I am waiting on somebody for some service around the house. So at some point I'm just going to leave the show, and Chris is going to hang out with you guys alone, and I'll be back, and then I'll probably have to leave again. So it's going to be an absolute disaster. So enjoy. But other than that, Chris, what have you been up to this week, man?
Oh man, a decent amount of stuff.
Oh, Chris, real quick though. Did you see that Vault Boy's hanging out with us today?
I did. I like that shirt, man.
That's like the dumbest shirt. He's just giving the thumbs up. Like, yeah.
Give the thumbs up.
It's like, okay. Whatever, man. Like, reminds me of when one of your friends is stoned out of their gourd and they're just like, yo, what's up, man?
I was going to say one of your friends is trying to make some knockoff merchandise, so it was the first Pit Boy shirt, all right, logo. They're like, yep, slap that on there, guys. That's good. Sell it.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, this week, let's see. Played some Overwatch.
Now did you do the PTR?
I did not do the PTR, no.
Oh, because I was going to ask you what your thoughts were of what's her name, Anya.
Yeah, Anna. Yeah, I was going to try it out, but I was like,
I think this is the guy. Let me take this call real quick. You talk about Overwatch.
All right. I did not play Anna. I felt there was too much work going into getting the PTR.
That's me.
Dude, you're not muted, man.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Anyways, it's kind of weird talking to myself, but let's continue the show. Yeah, PTR. It just seems like more work than I want to go through to actually play the game. I'd rather just play the game and get the new character when she pops out on regular servers. Don't need to go through all that extra work to be the first player. You be the first to be the best. I don't have time for that shit. Got some new equipment for my computer. New microphones. Probably why I sound different. New Hyper 212 cooler for my CPU so I can stop idling at 45 degrees with the stock cooler. That's nice. Got a new solid state drive so things can run quicker. Played some Inside. We'll get to that. Played some Pokemon Go. Get to that too. Played Rogue Legacy. Probably have to talk more about that coming up. Yeah. This is really weird. Want to talk shit shows. I'll play some Elite Dangerous. I did that. I remember last week I said it was hasn't changed. The truth is, it's pretty much the same game, but they've added some interface differences, some interface changes that kind of make it a little bit better. The quests are a lot easier, so when you start off as a new commander, instead of just being thrown off into a space station, you're actually given a quest that teaches you how to travel between stations. So that's nice. So you're not just getting shit out into this massive, vast galaxy. Finally, we have been able to buy ships. Been playing around with different types, trying to get a sort of mining cargo ship that I can actually, protect myself from getting interdicted. They've added factions to the quest, so that's really cool. So instead of just having some regular ass, oh hey,
Yo, what's up, dude?
what's going on, man?
So this is interesting that the mute button on the Yeti didn't actually mute it.
It didn't mute shit.
That's funny. You would think
Yeah.
that hard mute button would actually take care of that, but I guess not.
Yeah.
So what have you guys been talking about?
Pretty much everything that I've done this weekend.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
It's really
Well-
easy when there's no questions being asked or no comments, so you just kind of.
That's true. I'm sitting here, I'm like, now I don't know what he did, but I don't want to ask you what you did to make everybody have to listen to it,
I didn't hit too much on it.
Yeah.
I just
Well,
kinda
what
went
were the
off the list.
highlights? What were the highlights of Overwatch?
Not much, not many highlights. We were talking to Alex about it. We're kind of tired of playing the game and not knowing whether or not it was us that made the team lose. There's games where I'm like, damn, I am whooping ass right now, and then we lose. And there's key things where it's like, I'll be kicking ass, and then I die, and then I watch the points get taken. Like, okay, so clearly I was holding us up that whole time. Or maybe everyone died when I died. I don't know how that works. But it's like it's not to be like, I'm the best. It's more to adjust your own play style. Like, you're supposed to play as a team. I get that.
Right.
But in order to play as a team, you still have to know how much you're putting forth to that team. And I don't think they do that very well. Like, oh, I got 4 gold medals. Well, maybe you were just playing team deathmatch the whole goddamn time. Then again, if you got 4, you got the objective time, so that also helps. But it's like, maybe that's what you were doing. You weren't actually on the objective or something. It's weird. It's hard to see who's been, like, carrying. The only time I know when somebody else is like when I see a Reinhardt that's playing more aggressive than like the Reaper or the Soldier of 76. Like, why is Reinhardt being the aggressor here? Like, this dude's got a shield and he said, "Fuck my shield." I'm just going in and killing everyone.
I'm a charging machine.
Yeah, I played this one. This dude was insane. Like, he was just bouncing back and forth across the map. I was like, oh god. I was like, I'm trying to do stuff here, but he's just killing everything. He's a one-man wrecking machine. It was nice though. We ended up winning. Like, he wasn't even on the payload. He was just like popping out of corners and just pitting people. I was like, damn. How do you get that good as Reinhardt? But yeah, it was pretty cool watching that. But yeah, I mean, they need to figure out a way to so you know as a person how well you did. So either you can work on certain things or, Just be satisfied that you're doing
it is a shame like you don't have some kind of option to like record the whole match from like a spectator mode, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it'd be really great to be able to go back, watch the whole thing, and be able to like look around and see like what was happening,
Yep.
you know? Like you could do spectator mode, but you can't do it in your own match, you know?
No, you can't. You only
It just sucks there's no option for that, you know? You get to see play the game, but that doesn't really tell you anything.
No,
you know,
that just
other
tells you
than
who's
one
gonna
instance. Yeah. So, unless you got killed in the play of the game, like, you don't really learn anything from that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a shame. Maybe at some point they'll get that. I don't know. It seems like all the games today, like, you know, like, I know with, like, the PS4 and the Xbox One, like, they record your last 15 minutes of game, like...
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Your last, like, 15 minutes of gameplay are always being recorded. So, yeah. Oh, wow, that's a great comment in the chat there.
That is great. Dude, they're, seriously, I don't know if you've ever seen the IT Crowd. It's a BBC comedy. And there's this one where this guy's sitting there, he's typing on his computer. There's a fire extinguisher. Oh, no, not the fire extinguisher. No, there's a fire in the trash can that starts. And he's sitting there typing, and he looks over at the fire. And he continues typing some more, and he looks at the fire again. He continues typing some more, like just pretty much ignoring that there's a big-ass fire just about to happen in their IT offices. And I'm like, that's how the servers must be at Niantic. Like, they're just sitting there playing around. They see the servers are burning and not working. They're just like, oh, fuck it. You know, we'll be all right. Add more countries. Keep going.
Did they not expect this? Like, I mean, Niantic's done this before, but, like, did they just get crushed with way more people than they ever expected? I mean...
I don't think any company expects to grow as fast as they did.
I feel like this thing, like, has really taken off big, especially because there are so many people playing it who I know that don't play any games. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's people who aren't part of the social media aspect that are playing the game. So now, when they release stuff like, oh, Pokemon Go has more active users than Twitter, it's like, Jesus. Like, that's an insane amount of people.
But, like Antil the Hun said in chat, you know, like, why are you adding more countries if you can't even get it stable here yet? Like, I guess the thought is you don't want to be late to the party, you know, but... You know, I mean, like, you don't want to miss your window of opportunity while this thing's hot. But if you're offering people a substandard product that isn't working properly, I just don't see how that's a good thing for you.
I honestly, I don't think it's for the money. I think they realize people are going to play either way. Like, they're just like, oh man, servers are down, but it's Pokemon, so they're going to play it anyway. Like, I think that's the key there. Like, they've gotten to a point where it's like, well, we have this many users, and even when the server's down, they still pop back on. We haven't dropped since, so let's just add the countries, and we'll work on the servers as the time comes. It's pretty shitty, but
yeah,
it's not going to stop people from playing.
Yeah, it was funny because I got my daughter set up with it last night because she really wanted it and had like problems with the registration and all. So I finally got it in there and got it all set up for her. And she goes to play it today, and she's like, cannot connect the server. She's like, what's that mean? And I was like, yeah, that happens. It's, you know. Yeah, I was like, it's just a problem with the game. And then my son turns around, and he starts going off about, like, server problems and new games always having server problems. I'm just like, wow, like, he is so used to this. Like, this is the world to him. Is like, new game equals server problems, and that's just how it goes.
Issues. Yeah. It's the same with products. Like, if there's a product that you can only buy online at a certain time, their servers always crash. It's like, dude, you guys know, like, how many years of this with other companies dealing with this that you did not prepare for this? Like, you know what's about to happen. Like, get your shit together, man. But I don't know. I don't know how they do it. I'm not on the inside, but I would have to say at some point someone's got to step in and be like, guys, we need to set this up for like way more than we think is going to happen. Like, that's what's got to happen. Yeah, I guess it is money. Like, you don't want to spend too much money and then not have people use it, so then you have wasted server space. But it's like,
here we go again. Be right back, Chris.
All right, man. But they for real have to fix their shit. All companies do. It's just getting ridiculous. Can't have too many server issues for online games because you didn't plan. Fucking money. But seems to be working so far for these companies. Everyone still plays their games. Everyone still buys their games. People still support them. You're always gonna get money. Nintendo doesn't have high-end techs, man. That's why they've been releasing the Wii and the Wii U out and thinking, like, we got this. Keep it going. Like, they just stepped into the modern mobile world. Like, they're just realizing, oh, wow, this might be a good idea. They don't have techs right now. That's why they outsourced to Niantic. But, you know, it's still a fun game when it actually works. Usually takes them like a couple hours after the new countries are added for the servers to come back. It's funny though. You would think like Niantic's not that big of a company. They're a smaller developer from Ingress, you know, and so you would expect Nintendo to like front a ridiculous amount of money to allow them to license it too. Like, hey, make this game for us. We'll front the money and the costs. You'd think they'd be able to. All that goddamn Amiibo money, you would think they'd be able to buy some servers. Yeah. This is very true. They have lots of experience with that. I don't know too much about the Wii and the Wii U for online capabilities, but are they all like servers from Nintendo, or are they do they use like Microsoft does? Like it's based on the host. They pick a player and that's the host of the game. If that's the case, then they probably don't give two shits or know anything about it. Wait, does Nintendo have online games? Oh, Splatoon, I guess. Yeah, Splatoon's a pretty good choice for that. I wish I knew more about that. I really do. It's kind of it's a very interesting topic. But I never understood. These are all Niantic servers. Hmm. Oh, I didn't realize they did Field Trip. That's a cool app that they have. Now I'm interested in what else they do.
Christopher.
Yo.
Okay. Sorry about that. We are all good with that issue, so we're good to go for the rest of the show now.
Cool.
That is the weirdest thing that's ever happened during an episode of the show, I think.
Yep, I would say so.
No, actually, probably not, because the stream has blown up twice. And we
have had that.
Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you, Tilda, hon. It's good to be back. I'm glad you kept Chris company.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay, so where are we at? Give me the
We're talking about the servers going down with Nintendo and who runs it. Because I was wondering, like, you would think if Nintendo's fronting the money, they would be able to.
See, I would think like the Pokemon company is fronting the money, but I would think Niantic is like, maybe it's not their servers, maybe they have somebody they like lease them from, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're small.
Like, because they've done it before, so I wouldn't imagine like the Pokemon company would go and do this themselves, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I would imagine they would just let Niantic handle all that since they've got experience with it.
That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But you would expect them to front more money for them to actually be able to have zero server issues.
Yeah, well, I remember like when Star Wars: The Old Republic came out, they had major server issues because everybody was like slamming them to get in, and they basically rented out more servers. You know what I mean? Like temporary ones to basically get everybody on board. Or
Ah,
they bought more. I forget if it was a buy or a rent. Eventually, those servers all went away and everything got condensed. But
yeah.
like you'd think Niantic would kind of do something similar, like just rent out a bunch more like servers to handle the load, and then once you kind of get, it's like I talk about like with WoW, right? Like WoW has its like peak state every time they release an expansion, and then it returns to its idle state once the fervor cools off. Like that's what they need right now probably is more servers to handle the load, but eventually people are going to start falling off and this thing's going to like settle in at a steady clip of whoever really plays. Like everybody just wants in on the fad right now, but the people really like it are the ones you're going to need long term. So
Yeah, yeah.
it seems like it should be more fixable, but I don't know. It clearly isn't because everybody seems to run into the same problem. you
I
know
think I feel like it might be, but they're such a small studio. Like, I mean, Ingress wasn't as big as they thought it was going to be, and then they have this other app, Google Field Trip, where as you're driving down the road, landmarks will pop up, and it'll give you like a history lesson on the different stuff that's in the area. Like, none of those were money making apps. Like, Ingress was just a data mining app, so you pretty much they just got your foot traffic and figured out like which direction people takes, which way do they go to get to these areas, like where's the most foot traffic. And Field Trip was just like, hey, here's some cool things. So,
yeah.
so it's like they weren't really making money from these apps unless there's ads somewhere. I mean,
Yeah, well,
besides the money
I
that
guess they've done good enough somehow, right? Because
yeah, this
they're
is
still
true.
around.
Maybe all the
Uh,
data that they give out to Google was enough for them to keep going with Ingress.
well, Google probably does pay pretty good for data. That seems to be their like I don't know.
That's all they
That's
want.
that's their golden pork chop is data. Yeah. Um,
But honestly, I think Pokemon Go might have just been a marketing thing that they weren't expecting to blow up.
well, I mean, it's it's a mobile game, right? So you got a wide net you can cast, and it it's Pokemon, right? It's been around for so long now that the people who were kids when it started, are adults now. So they know Pokemon because it was something that was around when they were kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's been over here in the US for what, like 19, 20 years now. So, I mean, I think it was like
Oh yeah,
97
I
it
guess
got
that's
here.
right. Yeah,
So, I mean, think about that. Like it's a known brand. So, it I could see that it worked. It's a great time of year, right? Because it's an
yeah,
outdoor game for walking. So here in the northern hemisphere, it's summertime, right? So
yes.
this is the time of year everybody's out and about walking. Two, if you're a gamer, there ain't a lot going on right now. Like it's pretty dead.
Nope. This
You know.
month is a dead month. Next month is when it starts.
Yeah, towards the end of August, you'll start to get the rollouts of the good things. Um, Yeah, but like I think there's a couple of like things that came together to make this a big deal, and then you get the social media factor because it's taking off. I think is making it get bigger than that because you already see like the haters coming out, right? Like
Oh yeah,
there's a picture going around the other day of like it was a bar and it had a sign like no Pokemon here, like keep
yeah.
walking, you know,
There's a
and
guy who got arrested the other day because he was going to quote purge all the Pokemon players with his modified paintball guns because
whoa,
yeah, because he's
okay.
fucking crazy.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
just need to chill out on that, homie.
dude.
No need for that.
There's so much hate, man. I don't understand. I don't understand any of the hate. Like, oh, these guys are out having fun. Fuck it. I hate them. It's like, okay.
Now, you see it, Telethon's getting back to my other point there about,
Yeah.
Pokemon's been around pretty much their whole life. At 23, you figure that from the time they were old enough to really know, Pokemon's been around. So,
Very
yeah.
true.
So, I mean, I was like 17 when that got here, so I was a little too old to really get into it. Like I got into it a little, but not like hardcore like the younger crowd did. Like I was like, this is cool. It's a little simple.
I was
And that
6.
was that was also like the era of RPG explosion in the US. So like I was getting bigger into all the other like JRPGs that were coming across now.
Okay.
So like Pokemon was there, but that was kind of simple. I did like the monster catching stuff and getting all the Pokemon. It just the gameplay was a little basic. And when all the Final Fantasies were getting like really good on the PlayStation, it's like Star Ocean and Chrono Cross and like just all these JRPGs. It was like I was like I'd rather play the more complex one. Like I'm older now, so you know. But
That's what I always looked at Pokemon.
But even to that, I still knew Pokemon was around. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was saying, I was
so did all my
probably
kids.
It was like around 7 or 8 when it came out. It was just one of those, like, that's what we did as kids. Like, we go outside and we play Pokemon, and when we're inside, we take out the Game Boys and we'll play Pokemon over there. We go to lunch in school, we're playing Pokemon, we're trading it at recess until kids started stealing people's Pokemon cards. Like, it was a good time. It's part of our childhood, and now that as an adult, we now have this easy app to go to. We don't have to purchase anything. We can just go outside for a walk and play a game that we grew up with. And it's kind of like this, like we always had these dreams as kids, like, oh man, it'd be so cool if this was real life. And now we have something very close to it. So I think that base will always be there.
Well, here's one of the things I like, right? I tried to get my daughter Eris into Pokemon recently, and because like she never had any of the games, and I was like, oh, I should get her one. So I picked one up for her. I think I picked her up X or Y or one of those. I don't know. And she liked it, but she refused to fight. She was like, I don't want to hurt the Pokemon. And I was like, like the way she sees it is like she's hurting these cute animals, and she doesn't want to do that. So I'm actually really liking Pokemon Go because I'm thinking she might take more to it, because if you just want to walk around and catch Pokemon, like you don't really have to do any fighting, So she might take more to that. She might not be interested in doing like the gym battles and all that stuff, but whatever. You don't have to. Like that's like it's a perfectly good just walk around and catch Pokemon game if that's all you want. Did
you explain to her that they're not hurt? They just
I tried to explain to her, like, she just wouldn't get it. Like she was just like, I don't want to hurt the cute creatures, So yeah. What now? See, Attila the Hun was saying like about Pokemon being a quality RPG adventure game, and I agree. I don't dispute that it's a quality game. I found it a little simple for me. But what's nice about that is, like, I could get into it with my son when he was younger. Because it wasn't too complex for him. So, like, there is that too. Like, I don't want every RPG to be like, electronic version of GURPS. Like, I don't need that in my life. But I do want some of them to be that.
So it seems more like this is your stepping stone RPG, your gateway drug to other RPGs. Like, I play Pokemon for a minute, and then if you like that aspect of role playing,
I think Colin Moriarty is famous for quoting it as baby's first RPG. And I'd say that's probably a good stepping stone. Wait.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I got a question. Wait, hold on. I got a question about this going on in the chat. So we got somebody telling us we got to see Independence Day Resurgence, right? Yeah. But his name is I'm Just Not Sure. How can I take that as a quality recommendation? You seem like you're not sure about it.
I'm not sure about this. This is the one thing he's sure about.
Oh, that's an excellent counterpoint. Maybe this is the one thing he is sure about. Okay. Fair enough.
Trust me, I've been planning on seeing Independence Day since I first saw the first trailer. I was like, yep, I'm seeing that movie. I don't care how stupid it is. I will see that movie.
Yeah, seemed like one of those things that cannot be as good as the first one. But I was like, if you just want to go see shit blow up, probably not bad.
Dude, it's a summer blockbuster. Like, I've never gone to a movie in the summertime thinking, like, this is going to be, like, the best of quality. No. I'm going here for shit blowing up. That's why I'm here. Alright? Characters are going to be so deep. No.
Assassin's Creed, wait, we got in the chat here, Assassin's Creed Barbecue. That's just, no. I'm not down with that.
Sorry,
like,
what's happening?
Barbecues and Assassin's Creed just don't, no, they don't mix.
It's too hot to be wearing.
It's like Nickelback and Cool People. That doesn't mix.
You get all this metal on, start burning yourself on accident with all this heat. Got hoods on. Nah, this is not a good idea.
Yeah. Although, you know what? You could probably get like a charcoal sponsorship or something, you know. Or Charbroil might want to get in there, you know. I don't know.
Oh,
that seems to be the big thing, right? We're going to have Final Fantasy 15 with the Coleman gear all over, so.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
No. Like,
oh, that's right.
Like, camping stuff?
You didn't play episode Dust Sky because you're part of the master race, apparently, that doesn't get that.
Yes. This is very true.
So, yeah, no, your tent and some of your like stuff, like the grill and everything, is all Coleman branded.
Really? That's interesting.
I am with Attila the Hun, though. I do think barbecue sounds good. It is hot enough out for barbecue. Yeah, I just don't want Assassin's Creed with it. Now, like, I don't know. Like Assassin's Creed Job Simulator, like one where like the economy's bad, so there's nobody to assassinate, so like you have to find other jobs as the assassin. So you know,
at Starbucks.
Yeah, so like you gotta like shovel manure and like, you know, like take on all kinds of tedious jobs until the economy recovers. You know,
Assassin's Creed barista.
And if you do good at the jobs, you'll see the economy meter getting better as you're having a positive influence on it. And the end game is to get it back to the point where you can assassinate people, and then you have a heart attack and you die, and the game's over.
Oh, wow. That's a dark ending.
Do it, Ubi. Actually, how about I just pitch it to Vivendi? They're going to own them soon enough.
I'm sorry, what? Why do you have Speed 2?
Why do you have physical media? It's 2016.
What is that, a VHS?
VHS. I doubt it, Chris. I don't.
Speed 2 came out in the 90s, man. The first one was.
Hold on. I got the solution. Okay. You don't want to give the copy of Speed 2 back? Just keep it. He doesn't want it. Nobody wants it.
Nobody even likes
it.
it.
You're the only one who wants it. As a matter of fact, any fans of the show, contact I'm Just Not So Sure on Twitch and send him your copies of Speed 2 that you don't want, because he wants them.
Hold on a second. Who buys Speed 2 on Blu-ray? Man, I've got some questions for this friend.
Who thought making Speed 2 on Blu-ray was a good idea? I mean, it just sounds like what? Like there's demand for this? And, whatever. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I would not have okayed that. Like, you know.
Who was even in that movie?
Do Speed 2 or Willow on Blu-ray? Do Willow.
Oh yeah, get Willow.
Speed 2 or Sleepless in Seattle? Sleepless in Seattle. You know. Speed 2 or like Police Academy 23. Like Police Academy 23. Oh, that makes sense. Got it for free. That sounds right.
That sounds good. That was the greeting. Uh-oh.
The follow button is an asshole then, because I hate when it does that. We're here every week, don't worry. You don't got to work hard to find us.
Follow us on Twitter so we get the time.
We usually have a better show, too, but today's just one of them days where it's just going to be Trainwreck City.
It's the heat, man. It's affecting us. It's affecting everything.
Yeah.
No one thinks straight.
Sometimes people like to watch train wrecks. Ever cried about a movie and never told any of your friends about it? I think like every Disney movie makes me want to cry. You know,
it hits you right in the feels in that first 5 minutes.
Yeah, because them movies are dark as shit. Every movie just like has its like goth phase for like 15 minutes. You know.
Oh, you have a family? Not anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, Mufasa dying in The Lion King is probably always the one that gets me the most.
Oh yeah. No,
That one's like, I'm not gonna cry. No, I just got something in my eye. You know.
Man. Oh,
But
man.
not told your friends about it. Nah. I'm okay with being ashamed of myself. It doesn't bother me at all.
I've never outright started bawling in a movie, but I always get tears.
You can't put yourself on camera and out on the internet every week and have any shame. It just doesn't work. You'll end up having to see a therapist, you know. So, yeah, I've probably cried at some really dumb stuff though. You know what really gets me though? The sad stuff doesn't always get me, but the really happy stuff does. You know, because it's like, oh wait, in a fantasy world, like good things can happen without like bad things having to be attached to them in the end. You know, like in the real world, it's like something good can happen, but you know something bad's happening around the corner. In a movie, like everything can just be happy and end. You know, like. And that's one of the things you always idealize about, right? Like, you wish real life could kind of go like that. Like, you know, we didn't have to have, like, motherfuckers creating terrorism all over the goddamn planet. And
it makes you feel
stuff
good.
Like that. Yeah, like, just don't watch Netflix, man. Everything's fine. I didn't see Zootopia.
I haven't seen it yet either.
We did see, when we went to see Star Wars, we did see that whole preview scene with the sloth. That looked pretty funny. Yeah. I don't know if the rest of the movie held up, though.
Oh, it did. Everyone's had like a massive boner for this movie.
Yeah, I haven't really heard many people talk about it, to be honest.
It's all over the internet. People are like, oh, it's such a good one. I think it's more because it's not... They said it had more adult qualities to it than it did for like kids, even though it was a child movie.
So was it kind of like a Shrek type of thing? Because I remember that was what made Shrek kind of...
I think so. Popular. I think so. That's the kind of feel that I was getting from people's comments on it.
Okay.
But then again, who knows?
Yeah.
But I still want to see that. I've heard very good things from it.
It's about stereotypes and race.
That would make sense why there would be certain people not talking about it. I'm not getting into this.
How can it be about race with animals?
Different animals represent different races, man.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, okay, that could work, I guess. Seems strange.
Yeah, it's more differences probably in the movie, but you can see...
Yeah, I can see, like, stereotypes, right? Because, like, you could see animals representing, like, types of people or, you know, something like that.
Like we had the sloth, the rabbit, and the sly fox, you know?
Yeah, right. Stuff like that. Okay. Oh, man. Yeah.
You could take that and put into the human perspective where, I mean, we're all human, but we have different races and different cultures and take stereotypes of that. I get that. And that's probably why people don't talk about it on that level, because they're like, that's too deep. I'm not getting into that shit. That's asking for trouble, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm liking the chat today. We got some crazy stuff going on here.
Yeah, you got some good people.
Yeah, throw any questions you got out there, because we don't got too much to talk about with Pokemon. So you could do some, you know, questions. We'll answer some stuff. Why not?
Yeah. Speaking of Pokemon, did you happen to see the video of the Vaporeon in New York?
No, I did not.
Oh shit, dude! In Central Park, someone spotted a Vaporeon, right? Every car that was parked along the street parked, and everyone just rushed out of their cars into the spot where the Vaporeon was, all holding their phones. Talking like hundreds and hundreds of people. Could be thousands. I don't really know. But it was an insane amount of people rushing to this one spot to get a Vaporeon. I'm like, this is insane. Like this is ridiculous.
See, that sounds like a public safety issue. Like,
that sounds like if you were a terrorist, you would just sit back and be like,
Yeah, but you know what? I guess if you think about it, right? Like, let's play the game. You're the terrorist, right?
Yep.
And they announced this, like, you know, rare Pokemon. Can you really, like, execute a plan fast enough before, like, the whole crowd's gone? You know?
Oh, no. Definitely
like, that's the thing. Like, it would have to be, like, a perfect confluence of events, you know?
Yeah. But you know, people people kind of just sit around afterwards. Like they just sit there and they talk to each other, and it becomes like this more community thing than it is just like got my Vaporeon, peace,
Yeah.
bitch.
Okay.
Like,
that you know what, you got a good point there.
And then once they add trading involved, then they're just going to be standing around trading. Like, I'm looking for a Snorlax. Anybody? You got Snorlax? All right, man. There's going to be some of that going around.
I don't know where you can find those pictures, but who's Kristen Stewart? Is that like Patrick Stewart's daughter or something?
No, definitely not. She has no acting skills. She's the chick from Twilight, the one without emotion.
I would have had to watch Twilight to know that.
You don't have to watch it. She's been on TV in places, man.
Has she?
I've never seen Twilight in my life. There is a movie she's in. I don't remember the name of it, but she's. I like
Attila Hunn's comment about the Pokemon showing up and it's like a flash mob. That's great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it seems like to me, actually.
Everyone, man.
I haven't seen anything like that. They just like pop up like that, though.
Yeah, they'll have apparently Eevee's evolution forms are rares, and so they just pop up and you can get them, but you can trick them into evolving from Eevee. So I don't know if you watched the show because you were older when the show was out, but there's an episode where there was 3 brothers that each had an Eevee. And they each had the evolution forms of Eevee, Flareon, Vaporeon, and Jolteon. And their names, I can't remember what their names were, Pyro, Sparky, and Rainer or something, some stupid shit like that. And if you name your Eevees that name and evolve them, they evolve into that form.
I see.
That's the rumor there. So it's like when you hear about this rare spawn of a Vaporeon, it's more like, dude, you can get your own if you find an Eevee. Alright.
Well, if I get an Eevee, I'm going to name it after I'm just not sure. Because, that seems fitting. Let's see. We do have some questions in the chat. Chris, did you eat any McDonald's today?
I haven't had McDonald's in months.
Yeah, same here. Don't do that anymore.
Yeah, it gets you sick.
It's okay. I have a more refined palate these days.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you guys ate pizza? Chris?
That's a good question. That's been a long time. I've been eating nothing but barbecue and Chinese.
I can tell you that I don't eat pizza much anymore. Not because I have anything against pizza. I like pizza. It's delicious. It was one of my favorite foods until I was told I was diabetic. And it's just it's a poor carbohydrate intake to amount of food I get to eat reward. So... I go more for the chicken wings and stuff like that, where I not as many carbs and so I can eat a lot more because I like to eat. I'm American.
Yep.
Yeah. Type 2, and as you can see from my slim figure, I'm not that bad off, but trying to take care of myself here. I want to see my grandkids.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. So some things about Pokemon Go here, Chris. Did you know you could spin the Pokeballs to throw a curve shot?
Oh, is that what's been happening? I thought I was just aiming for them.
Yeah, I started playing around with it a little bit yesterday. Yeah, you kind of just give the ball a little spin, and you can kind of hook it. Yeah, kind of cool.
What is up with these questions here?
Okay, well wait, the one question's really good. Have you ever run over any ducks? Now, we don't get a lot of ducks in Pennsylvania, but I have run over a cat before.
Oh, you're a terrible human being.
I did not do it on purpose. I came running out from between 2 cars for God knows what reason, and I could not stop in time. What's really gross about this is that when you run over a cat, you can feel its bones crunching through the gas pedal.
Oh,
so yeah. So my advice, please do not ever run over a cat, because cats are wonderful and I love them, and I can't believe I killed one because I hate myself. All right, I'm done. I'm not talking anymore today. Bye.
I I've hit a squirrel. Yeah, you can't kill ducks in Minnesota because of the off chance that it might be a loon, which is the state bird.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me ducks are explosive in Minnesota. I thought that would have been awesome.
No, I think that's Canada. I think that's what their military is.
You can't have ducks in Canada. They don't have any running water. It's all frozen.
That's where Canadian. That's all nothing but ducks. It's ducks and moose. That's it.
Really?
Oh, and bears occasionally.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think about anything else from Pokemon Go. Oh, what color do you see most of the gyms being around here, Chris?
I've seen one of each one, but I think
really?
the extinct one has died out. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not even high enough to do it yet. I'm still level 4. I haven't played, man.
Well, I know you had a lot of issues with the servers last weekend, so you didn't get to play much.
Yeah, and so then, remember, when I biked home Monday, I was stopping by every Pokestop and grabbing it. Realized I was in an area where people die, so I had to get out of there. But it's just like, that was it. That was the most of the play, because there's jack shit around my house. So it's like, I either have to go somewhere further out to get it, or whatever.
Yeah. Well, Attila the Hun asked what our Pokemon teams are. Now, this is where I was headed with this because of the gym thing. Yeah. Lost my train of thought there. Okay, here we go. So, I haven't gotten to the point where I have to pick a team yet because I got it late last weekend and had work all week and did not get a chance to play this weekend like I wanted to because a bunch of surprises happened to me. There goes life getting in the way of games again. So, I was thinking, because what I really wanted to do is go downtown, where there's like tons of landmarks and like lots of people probably playing, and like I can, probably a bunch of people setting lures and everything, like a lot more action. But I wanted to go with the blue team, because like, blue team, awesome. But I see so few gyms around here that are blue. It seems like everybody's red. So now I'm like, should I just go red team and try to capitalize, or should I just be blue team and, hope that things swing back around?
You have to be the leader of the blue team. I will be choosing yellow, because they're based off the 3 legendary bird Pokemon, and I feel like Zapdos was the better.
Oh, I like Articuno, so I can dig that.
Zapdos will kill each one of them one by one. Just like, fuck you, Moltres, Articuno, bullshit. Zapdos was the better one.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Anyways, they always get made fun of because everyone either goes Team Valor or Team whatever. What's the other one? Mystic?
Yeah, Mystic, Valor, and what's the third one? I'm an idiot.
Instinct.
There we go. Yeah, it's in the chat there. Okay.
But like all over Reddit, Team Valor is Team Valor's always called the douchebags, and nobody likes Team Valor.
Seriously, that's pretty rough.
So they have Team Valor is like the douchebags. They're the ones like, come at me, bro. And the Call of Duty players. And then Team Instinct was like the special ed kids. And then Team Mystic's kind of just like in between.
Yeah, well, okay, now I really want to be Mystic because those other 2 options did not sound appealing in the least.
Dude, I like being the underdog of Team Instinct and just coming back and just taking over all the gyms and areas. Like, yeah, fuck you guys. That's right.
Oh, yes, the Fire Nation. Great reference.
Yeah. That's it. I like that. I like that.
I loved Avatar, man. That was a kid's show I could get down with,
You watched Avatar?
Pretty much most of it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there's not
was
to talk about with it these days, but yeah, that was an awesome cartoon, man.
Yeah, dude, I just rewatched it like last month. I was like, I want to see more of this. Maybe I missed something. Yeah, that was.
I was like, dude, this is like Oriental D&D, the cartoon. Like, this is great.
Dude, for a children's cartoon that they kind of marketed as, there's a lot of depth with the characters and a lot of depth in the stories. And then the bending, where each one was a legit real life martial arts that they used in the teachings. I was like, damn, this is this was well made. Like, this wasn't just some like
thrown together bullshit.
let's have them do some fake martial arts shit. No, this was it was very well made and a
Yeah.
lot of depth into it. I was like, this is good. Everything's believable. I like this. Oh, it's a well done cartoon. Too bad they fucked up with that movie. I got an idea. Let's take a children's cartoon with a lot of action, and we'll have a guy who doesn't do action movies direct it. that's
No. Okay. I thought. Never mind. Yeah. So anyway, I'm thinking Team Mystic when I get to that point. Hopefully, I'll get some time next weekend to really get into it. It really sucks that there's like nothing around work, because like,
dude, you have that one park.
I know. It's just like I wish there was something around there, you know.
Because I was trying to show Alex, and I was like, "Yeah, man, you need to check it out." I opened up the app, and it was just that park, and I was like, "Well, probably there's things."
Yeah.
I was like, "I wish I could show you, but there's nothing here. Everything's just empty." Most of Northeast is like that, which is really bad. Like, there's certain high traffic areas. But other than that, there's like nothing in certain areas. Like over by me, there's nothing. I go up on Castor and Bustleton, there's a few stops.
Okay.
I think there's 2 gyms in my like maybe 10-block vicinity.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to realize if you really want to like find a lot of gyms in Pokemon Go, just be an alcoholic, because so many of them are at bars.
Yeah, well,
it's like
you heard
crazy.
about the new thing they're going to try, right?
What's that?
It's Oh, I just got distracted by that question. Hold on. Oh no, they're going to do.
I read the same question. We'll get to that in 1 second. Go ahead, finish your thought.
Yeah, no, they're going to start doing sponsored locations, so companies can pay to have their place be Pokestops and all that good stuff.
Yeah, GameStop's probably going to pay big money to get to be one of those.
Dude, I went into a GameStop.
People in their damn stores.
I went into a GameStop Friday to get the Xbox 360 plug-and-play cord.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because you wanted to use your controller.
Now, just to let you know, there's 2 stores. There's 2 GameStops in this area. The one on Cotman.
Oh, yeah, at the mall.
Yeah.
Because the one used to be an EB, and they kept it as a GameStop, even though there was a GameStop right across the street from it.
Keep
they just threw it up, like, within, like, 5 minutes of each other.
It's nice. If you're into GameStop, fuck them. But now I'm going there.
We'll get into my GameStop hatred another day, but yeah. Not like for like the people who work there, but like just the GameStop experience.
It's never a good time.
No.
So I go there, I asked her, "Do you have the Xbox 360 plug and play cord? I don't need the full pack. I just need the cord if you have like a used one or whatever, or battery packs that I can charge, anything like that." And she goes, "Yeah. Let me go grab it." She goes in the back. I wait like 5 minutes. She comes out. We don't have one. The fuck? You just told me you had it. Like, why would you get my hopes up, man? Fuck this place. I went to Target, and Target had like a standalone battery stand where you can charge 2 controllers, and it came with 2 extra batteries. I was like, this works. You don't even need to turn on my Xbox. This is perfect. All right. But yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay, so a couple things I want to reference from the chat here. One, the first question, does the Gamescast watch anime?
Yes.
I do not. I don't have anything against anime. I just generally don't watch it. If somebody recommends something, I'll usually check it out because I have watched some in the past. So it's just, I don't know. That's not where I tend to drive towards. Mainly just because there's a lot of exposition oftentimes in anime, and I kind of like shit to keep moving. So,
yeah.
But if somebody recommends something and they're like, yo, this is good, you gotta watch it, I'll usually at least give it a go. And usually if I do start watching something, I get sucked right into it, and that's the end of it. I gotta watch it all. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I get very bored with the fillers and animes and the ones that just keep going and going and going. I haven't watched any in a long time, but I used to watch it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's a bunch on like Netflix, so I should probably jump in there and watch some of it. I don't know. I
There's
have
some
heard
good.
people say that like Death Note is really good,
That felt good.
and I also heard that Attack on Titan is good.
That's excellent.
Yeah, so like those were two things I thought about hunting down and just never did. But it
Uh,
also, I haven't been sick in over a year, so that's usually when I would like kind of binge watch something new. Is like I'm sick, I need something to watch, you know, and that really hasn't happened. Uh, watch RE0. Is
I've
that
never
Resident
heard of
Evil
it.
Zero or is that something else?
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
I haven't heard of it, but
I
I'm
know what
intrigued.
Naruto is.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't finished that because they just kept doing like 5 episode filler time, 5 episodes filler time. Like I don't fucking have time for this. I'm not keeping up with you. I'm done.
Yeah. Also, the other thing from the chat I wanted to reference, Pokemon is still down in Minnesota, right?
Oh,
And
Minnesota.
the hashtag Pokemon go down. We couldn't have thought of something better because that just sounds nasty. Like, I'm sorry.
Oh
I got
man,
a filthy mind, but that just does not sound good.
no, it is not.
It sounds
No.
like somebody's giving Pikachu a really bad command.
Oh, and get that extra shock, right?
Shock and awe. I know it's the actual hashtag on Twitter. That's the crazy part. Like, I don't know. Couldn't we have just called it Pokemon Down or something? I don't know. At least then it just sounds like you're telling them to sit. Oh man.
Oh man.
Yeah. So this got weird quick.
Yep.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh, you seemed excited about the Minnesota thing there for a
Yeah.
second,
What part of
Chris.
Minnesota are you from, man?
Yeah, Chris is a Minnesotan.
Yep.
He lived near that lake. What was it called? It's like the only one, right? There's only
there's
one.
only one lake in Minnesota. Oh, White Bear Lake? Alright. That experiences in White Bear Lake.
Why's it got to be white?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's funny because
You ever hear
there
me say
aren't
that when
white
somebody has a black
bears.
eye?
There aren't white bears in Minnesota, so that's a good question. I've never thought about this, man.
Ah,
Yeah, that's a racist city now.
man. I don't know. Who knows why anybody names anything? Like, sometimes I look at the names of stuff and I'm like, why? Like,
Well, I was from Coon Rapids, close to Blaine, so you can
they're not
imagine
doing better with the names here.
Coon Rapids. So
Yeah, it's just getting worse.
They didn't really try. There was a whole thing at one point where they were trying to change the name because there was, gentrification is strong in Minnesota. And so they're pushing them further and further out into Coon Rapids. And then when they got to Coon Rapids, everyone's like, yo, what the fuck does Coon Rapids mean? And so they tried to change the name, and it didn't work, obviously. It's like, raccoon, man. Nickname for raccoon. It was like, why not call it Raccoon Rapids? Like, why's it gotta be Coon, guys?
Yeah, who knows?
It's Minnesota.
Shit got named so long ago, man. I swear half them people were like dying of something all the time.
Dude, all those suburbs in Minnesota are new.
Always party in Coon Rapids. Apparently, this is something to keep in mind, Chris.
Dude, Coon Rapids, Anoka, Blaine, they have massive parties because there's nothing to do there. So you get the rich kids and they throw big parties, and that's what you do.
Okay.
Or meth, if you're into that kind of thing.
Oh, they do the expensive drugs.
Meth is not the expensive drug, man.
I just mean they go big or they go home,
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
Yeah. Sorry. Should have phrased that better. Yeah. Yeah, welcome to Minnesota Talk. Don't do math. Yeah. That's information for life, kids.
It's probably a good life lesson.
Yeah.
Not even once, guys. Don't do that.
Don't do math. Just have multiple sexual partners.
I mean, that's safer than meth. To an extent.
Actually, yeah, it is actually. I don't know. Actually, partners can be deadly. So,
This is true.
do unto others as you would have done unto yourself, or something like that, right?
Sure.
Yeah, there we go. That,
I think
Who the
that's
hell are we
right.
to give life advice to anybody, actually? Yeah. Smoke some weed, that's okay. What do you think, Chris? You agree with that statement?
I 100% agree with that statement.
Uh,
Worst thing
okay.
you're going to do is
As long
sleep.
as you're not one of my kids, go for it.
I think the worst thing that's going to happen to you if you smoke weed, well, it depends. If you get
Well,
too,
actually, one of mine already has, so really that just leaves the other two. So if you're one of my other two kids, don't do it.
all it
Yeah.
leads to is sleeping and eating and
Yeah.
laziness
Well,
and lack of
here's the problem.
motivation.
See, they have a diabetic father, which means they're prone to it themselves, so they really shouldn't overeat. So that
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't want them
Oh,
doing anything,
yeah.
don't give them the
Oh.
munchies.
Yep.
See, I have a reason, Chris.
Yo, I'm sorry, hold on. Somebody needs to get these kids off the boulevard who decided they're just going to bike down the lane.
Oh,
There's like 5 of them.
that's yeah, wow, that's not cool.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that is the boulevard is a dangerous place to ever be, ever, even in a motor vehicle.
Yeah.
As my car accident a couple months ago proves. You are not safe.
That's ridiculous. All right.
Attila the Hun, the boulevard is a 12-lane street/highway. It is the craziest thing you will ever see.
It should not exist.
It really shouldn't. It's too big.
It's in Philadelphia. It's probably, I think it's listed as one of the most dangerous roads in all of America.
Yeah. It's so big it has to be divided 3 times to try to keep the traffic in line.
So they have
It's not the
two
kind of
middle
place you ride
lanes.
a bike.
Check this. They have 2 middle lanes that are supposed to be express lanes, which are like the highway portion, so you can fly down there. You don't have to worry about making left turn, right turns. Then
Not
you
true.
have.
You can make lefts from one side and rights from the other.
Wait, what?
You make lefts from the inner lanes and rights from the outer
Oh,
lanes.
good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
So
See?
yeah.
There's the confusion.
But it was supposed to be like carpool or something, but that didn't work. As soon as they had extra lanes, everybody just took them.
That's it.
Like,
now it's just a merge fest where everyone's just moving back and forth between each section. Like, oh god.
Well, it's a great way to get across the city, but people drive like crazy, like interstate speeds. And I mean, there's traffic lights and people crossing it, and that is not safe.
Yeah, and then they didn't even consider putting like a stairway over the boulevard, like for crosswalks, so then you don't have to worry about dying as you cross the street. Nope, it's everyone just has to try to cross it when they feel like it.
Well, they're putting in more traffic lights with the push button things to get the light to change, but
Oh, it's pretty easy to cross. You just have 5 seconds to cross 12 lanes.
Now, this sucks because Attila the Hun apparently was in Philadelphia,
Yep.
and Philadelphia's got enough trash in it as usual, and then he comes during the garbage strike, which is like, you're just multiplying like, we have a litter problem in the city that is disgusting and appalling, and like, when we were up in Boston in April for PAX, like, that really opened my eyes to just how bad it is, because like, that's a big urban city too, and there was no litter.
Well, no, that just kind of opens your eyes to the corruption in the government. This city gets a lot of tax money. They just don't spend it properly, so that's why it looks the way it does.
See, I didn't take it that way. I mean, you're probably right about that, though. What I took it as was there's just a culture problem here. Like, a bad culture has evolved that it's okay to just litter the streets of the city. Like, to hell with it. Doesn't matter.
I've seen people, like, throw bottles against the wall like it's like a game. Like, how hard can I throw this plastic bottle? Smash! And then walk away as it rolls down the road.
See,
like, what?
You weren't here back when I was a kid. Because when I was a kid, we still had glass bottles for soda. You want to talk about dangerous, man? The sidewalks had broken glass everywhere. Like, when you like fell, you're a kid, you run around, you fall, you scrape your knees up or whatever, your hands, whatever, kid stuff. Well, because there was broken glass everywhere, it was doubly dangerous, you know. So when everything switched to plastic, that was actually a big boon for the city because with suddenly the glass broken everywhere started to go away, you know. So yeah, oh man, I hate it. It's really disgusting, the litter thing. I mean, there's a lot of good things about the city too, but the litter problem is, you know, that's no way to, I don't know, treat the place where you live, for God's sake, you know. So. Anyway, yeah, so this is the Collective Gamescast, where we talk about the status of Philadelphia's litter problems and, you know, 12-lane highways. So, you know, it's a slow time for video games, man. Like, there's just not a lot going on right now. I mean, Inside came out. That was big time.
That was my next thing. We could talk about Inside. Did you finish?
We could talk about as far as I got up to. How's that?
All right, how far did you get?
Okay, so I got to the bathysphere. I got past the submarine thing.
Oh. I didn't know that's what we called it.
I don't know. That's what it was called in BioShock.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. All right.
Oh, No Man's Sky. We could talk about No Man's Sky before we get out of here, too, if you want.
Yeah, definitely hit on that trailer.
Yeah. I didn't watch it yet, so I can't talk about it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you know, one, I really don't watch trailers, although this one I do because of how critical I've been of the game.
Yeah, you got to see what it's like.
Yeah, I'll try to watch that for next week's show. Like I said, the past 2 or 3 days have been bizarro. But where was I going? Oh, Inside. So I got past the bathysphere, and then I got... Cool. Yeah, I was like, that's the part I was telling you about where I was like, there's no way this is actually about to happen. You know? So I was like, what is happening right now? You know? Like, and then I got to the part where I got drugged underwater, and I got the ability to breathe underwater.
Yes.
Yeah, and I like quit right after that. So.
Oh man.
So how close am I to the end?
Let me think. Maybe half hour, depending on how fast you beat some of the missions or puzzles.
Kind of slow, because sometimes I die on purpose just to see what'll happen.
Oh, that's not a bad choice.
Yeah.
I just kind of... Dude, the way I play that game is more just like, what's this? And I click it. I'm like, okay. All right, what's this?
I don't know. I like jumping off stuff and, you know.
The whole Sonic Boom one.
Oh, I hated that so much.
Such a ridiculous part, man. I'm just like... At first, because
especially the one with the spinning thing.
Yeah. So I couldn't time it right. I'm like, how is this going to work?
Oh, that was just the worst.
Yeah. It took me a minute to realize it's not timed right, so if you stop it and
it just
start to go, you're good.
It's a good puzzle, but it's not fun. you know
how brutal it is to see your body just...
Yeah, that was the cool part of that puzzle, though. That was the part I liked. So, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to have to try to finish that. That was actually my goal for the weekend, and then things with the family just got a little crazy, and like I said before, any more like gaming, I don't do it for 10 or 15 minutes. Like, if I can't sit down and like power game, I just don't even want to start, because it's just it's like a tease, you know, and you know. So we'll see though. Hopefully, I can get some time in.
Again, I gotta go through it one more time so I can collect it, so I can get the secret ending.
Oh, there's a secret ending?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look into all that stuff after I beat it.
Yeah, it's...
So, I know there's like a big surprise too, so...
Oh, dude.
You don't talk about it at all. Just I don't even want to know how close I am to it, although I assume I gotta be pretty close if I'm that close to the end.
I just want your reaction.
Yeah. Well, when you sent me that text the other day, I was like, oh, damn, I really should have tried to get to that part of the game before the show this week, and I just couldn't do it.
That was my only reaction, was like, the fuck? Oh, God. Yeah, it's good, though. It's fun.
Yeah. It all takes place in a snow globe that a mentally handicapped child is playing with.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That game in general, like, it's definitely a very, very polished Limbo. Like, they definitely took
I like it way more than Limbo. The splashes of color add a lot to it.
Yes, it does. The whole The whole one where you have to stay in line and walk with the guys.
Yeah, yeah,
I was like, well, this is completely useless, but this is kind of fun at the same time.
yeah. It didn't make any sense. Why did they have to turn around and all that? Like,
Yeah, like, why are we jumping right now, guys?
yeah.
Okay.
So, dude, what do you think of some of them dog puzzles, man?
Oh, dude, there's the one where you have to hop the fence.
Oh, dude, so annoying.
Because you got to peel the wood off the window.
Yeah,
And so you
it's
have
just
to like peel one, hop back over, wait, hop
yeah.
back over. Like, this is tiresome. Like,
Yeah, especially because it takes so many tries. Like if it was like 2 tries, it'd be one thing, but like you got to do it like 3 times. Yeah, and not to mention it took me a little while to figure out the exact timing of when it's safe to go back over and all.
It took me a bit to figure out like what part when they start coming am I able to hop back over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So.
That one, I think it's one of the first ones where you have one guy starts chasing you, and then you have to hide behind an RV while the truck rolls past, but you're still worried about this guy behind you catching up with you.
Yeah, the first time I did that, I got my ass shot up. I just kept running. I'm like, there's a dude chasing me. I gotta run, and I came out from behind the RV, and it was just like blah blah blah. And I was like, oh my god, this little boy just got shot.
At first, I thought they weren't going to kill you. I thought they were just going to, put you to sleep or something to take you. And then it's like the dog just tears you apart. I'm like, oh shit! Or the one light that shoots like a needle at you.
Yeah.
A little springy needle and picks you up. I'm like, no, what in the hell? I thought this was just like capture the kid.
Yeah, it's kind of rough.
Very brutal.
Yeah, and then there was like the puzzle where you got the helmet stuck to your head, but you didn't have to be connected anymore.
Oh, dude, that whole mind control thing.
That came out of nowhere, huh?
That was really cool. Yeah, wasn't expecting that.
There's no like tutorial in the game either. Like I just jumped into the first one. I was like, what is happening? Like,
yep. And then you see the guys, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. Like, there's a lot of those little moments with the way the puzzles are crafted.
Yeah. So you got to the one where you had to control like 20 of them, right?
Yeah, the platform puzzle. Yeah. Yeah, that was about the point I was like, this is getting tedious. Like, because up until that point, I found the puzzles all to be pretty quick hitters for the most part. You get through them, and that's the point where the puzzles start getting more involved. Because it's a platform, and then the sonic booms, and and all the puzzles start getting more intricate, not necessarily more difficult.
I think they go back to being simple towards the end. Once the big point happens, they become a lot easier to flow through.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool though. I like it way more than Limbo. It just feels like it's got more game to it, I feel like, let's say it's an evolution of that style of gameplay.
That's probably, this is the next step. It's more polished, it's more
crafted.
It has more character to it.
Yeah. It feels like there's like a world here with stuff going on.
Yeah, you're not just doing your whole, like Limbo was pretty much straightforward. This has more character to it, more story, more lore involved. It makes you think a little bit, try to figure out what the hell was the point of me doing this.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We've been going for a little bit here. You want to wrap this thing up, Chris?
All right.
Yeah. Okay, as always, we're right here on twitch.tv/the_Malgadar. Every week we do it live. We love when all you're in the chat talking it up. Thanks to Attila the Hun today, really involved in the chat. Hopefully that follow button works, but you can find us here. We're always hanging around talking something. Video games, Philadelphia garbage strikes, whatever, White Bear Lake, well, whatever comes up, we just roll with it. Yeah, you have a good day too. The YouTube breakout, hopefully that'll go up sometime soon. And Everything's been updated. No Man's Sky video continues to do really good for us over on YouTube. A lot of people seem to be interested in my extreme thoughts on that game. And also, you get the podcast versions on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, all that stuff. Just search for Collective Gamescast to find it on any of those services.
Yeah.
As always, contact us on Twitter at the Collective GC. If you got any questions, topic suggestions, or if you just want to be on the show as a guest, you can also hit us up, collectivesgamescast@gmail.com, if you want to just send the old email that way. Hit me up on Twitter at the Malgadar. Hit Chris up on Twitter at ChrisBCGC. We always love hearing from you guys. And until next week, Chris, I guess that's going to do it.
Hold on a second.
What do you got?
Two things. First off, I think that's the first time you said that without like a mistake.
That is not the first time I've said that without a mistake. Okay? But in fairness, I am drunk a lot when I say that. By the time we get to the outro, I've had quite a few drinks. So today I'm sober. Maybe that's why.
Maybe that's it. The earlier in the day, man. The earlier in the day.
Hey, it's better lighting for my camera. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I started playing Rogue Legacy.
Oh, yeah. Save that for next week because we got to talk some Rogue Legacy. I love that game. Yeah, because that'll be something good to get into. Yeah.
I told you, I've just been waiting to get a plug and play kit so I can play it.
Yeah, no, you want to play that with a controller for sure. Yeah. Yes, that'll be a good topic for next week. Was there something else?
No, that was it.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to some Rogue Legacy discussion next week.
Probably that and Life is Strange, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. That'll set up for a good episode then. I can talk about both them games for a while. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, until next time, keep gaming.
Peace.